Level 1, the runner. It starts with a car that isn't yours and a package you don't open. The engine is still running. The street is quiet in a way that feels staged. You grip the steering wheel harder than you need to. Your phone buzzes once. Go. You don't ask where. You already know. You drive exactly the speed limit. Not too slow, not too fast. Every red light feels personal. Every police car feels like it's waiting just for you. The package sits on the passenger seat, wrapped tight, no label, no name, worth more than you've ever held in your life. You're not told what's inside. That's the first rule. You don't need to know. You make the drop in under 6 minutes. A man you've never seen opens the trunk of his car without speaking. You place the package inside. He closes it. No handshake, no eye contact. You drive away. Your phone buzzes again. A number appears in your account 2 hours later. $2,800. Cash jobs. No taxes, no questions. You tell yourself it's temporary, just until you get ahead, just until things stabilize. But the work keeps coming. Packages turn into duffel bags. Short drives turn into overnight runs. You learn which highways have fewer patrols, which gas stations don't ask questions. You memorize faces. You avoid names. You start carrying a burner phone, then two. You stop telling your friends where you go. You don't notice when you stop feeling nervous. You notice when you start feeling proud. They trust you now. You've never met the people giving orders, but they know your name. That's how it begins. Level 2, the Distributor. The call comes at 2:13 a.m. You're ready for more. This time, you don't drive. You receive. A shipment arrives in the back room of a convenience store that technically belongs to someone else. Boxes stacked like ordinary inventory. They aren't. You open one, carefully, methodically. Wrapped bricks. Perfect weight, perfect shape. You count everything twice. That's the second rule. Mistakes aren't corrected, they're punished. Now you're responsible for moving product, not just delivering it. You manage 3 runners, all younger, all eager. You see yourself in them. That makes you cautious. You assign routes, you stagger deliveries, you teach them what not to say. You also watch them closely. Trust is temporary here. Loyalty is proven under pressure. You collect money in small increments, $5,000, $12,000, $8,400, always in cash, always in motion. You learn how to clean it. Front businesses, small deposits, different accounts, nothing obvious. You skim nothing. Not yet. You notice how fast money changes people. One of your runners buys a watch he can't explain. Another disappears for 2 days. You report both. That's the third rule. You protect the system before you protect individuals. The missing runner doesn't come back. No one asks why. You sleep less now. You think more. Every decision has weight. Every mistake echoes upward. You're no longer invisible. And that means you're replaceable. Level 3, the Enforcer. They call you in person this time. No phone. A warehouse. Concrete floors. Fluorescent lights that hum just enough to make you uneasy. A man sits across from you. Calm. Clean. Controlled. There's a problem, he says. He doesn't explain. He doesn't need to. You've seen the signs. Missing money. Broken routes. People talking too much. You're going to fix it. That's all. You're given an address, a time, a name you're not supposed to repeat. This isn't delivery. This isn't management. This is correction. You arrive early. You wait in your car. You watch the building. You feel something shift inside you. A line you didn't know existed. You cross it anyway. The door opens. The conversation is short. The resistance is shorter. You leave before the adrenaline fades. Your hands are steady. That surprises you.
After that, your role changes. You're the one people call when something goes wrong, when someone talks, when someone steals, when someone forgets their place. You don't raise your voice. You don't need to. Reputation travels faster than any order. You notice people avoid eye contact now, even the ones who used to joke with you. You stop being invited places. You stop caring. Violence becomes currency, controlled, measured, strategic. You don't enjoy it, but you don't hesitate anymore. That's the difference.
Level 4. The Lieutenant. You don't get promoted, you just stop reporting to the same people. Suddenly, you have territory, 3 neighborhoods, 6 distributors, a rotating crew of runners and enforcers. Everything flows through you now. Product in, money out. You track numbers in your head, weekly volume, loss percentages, risk exposure. $120,000 moves through your hands every 7 days. None of it belongs to you. You take your cut. It's generous. It's also monitored. You meet your superior once a week, always in a different location, always brief. He doesn't ask how things are going. He already knows. He tests you instead. Why did volume drop 8% last Thursday? You answer immediately. Construction on the main route, police presence increased, adjusted distribution by Friday. He nods once. Approval is silent here. Disapproval isn't. You start making decisions without asking, cutting off weak links, expanding into new areas, negotiating with other crews. You learn diplomacy. Violence is expensive. Conflict disrupts business. Sometimes it's better to pay than to fight. That realization changes you. You stop seeing people as threats. You start seeing them as variables. You also start seeing yourself differently. You're not just part of the system anymore. You are the system in your territory. And that means everything that happens under you is your responsibility, including the things you didn't order. Level 5. The Operator. You don't touch product anymore. You don't collect money. You don't show up unannounced. You operate from distance. 2 phones, then 3, then encrypted channels. Meetings happen through intermediaries. Orders pass through layers. You build structure, supply chains, backup routes, emergency protocols. If one line breaks, another takes its place. You think in contingencies. A shipment gets seized at the border, you already have a replacement moving through a different port. A distributor gets arrested, you already have someone ready to step in. You reduce chaos. That's your value. Your income scales with your efficiency. $300,000 a month flows through your operations. You see maybe 10% of it. Enough to live well, not enough to feel safe. You invest in legitimacy. Businesses that make sense on paper, real revenue with controlled cash flow. You start wearing different clothes, driving different cars, but you never forget where it comes from. You also never relax. Information becomes your primary weapon. Who owes what? Who's talking to who? Who's getting greedy? You build files on everyone, including your own people, especially your own people. Trust becomes data-driven. Loyalty becomes measurable. You sleep with one eye open, even in a gated house with cameras on every corner, because you understand something now. The higher you go, the less mistakes are tolerated, and the less warnings you get. Level 6. The Boss. They stop telling you what to do. They start asking what you want. That's how you know you've crossed another line. You control multiple territories now. Lieutenants report to you. Operators execute your strategies. You don't see the street. You see the map. Routes, borders, alliances. You negotiate directly with other bosses. Quiet meetings in neutral spaces. No weapons visible. Plenty hidden. You talk numbers, percentages, access. You decide who gets cut in and who gets cut out. One decision can shift millions of dollars. One mistake can start a war. You become careful with your words. You also become careful with your silence. People watch you differently now, not with fear, with calculation. They measure your strength, your stability, your future. You feel it. You start testing your own circle. Small inconsistencies, minor pressures, watching who bends and who breaks. Paranoia becomes strategy. You justify it. Because you've seen what happens to bosses who trust too much. They don't retire. They disappear. You also start losing things you didn't expect. Time, privacy, normal conversations. Every interaction has a purpose now. Every relationship has a cost. You can't tell who likes you. You can only tell who needs you. And that's not the same thing. Level 7. The Kingpin. Your name isn't said out loud anymore. Not in full. Not in public. You exist in fragments, initials, nicknames, references. You control supply at the source, production, transport, distribution, all connected under your network. You don't negotiate with bosses. You set terms. You decide prices, routes, partnerships. Governments notice. Agencies track patterns, movements, financial flows. You know this. You plan around it. You move less, speak less, appear less. Your world shrinks physically as it expands financially. You operate from secured locations, layers of protection, layers of misinformation. Even your inner circle doesn't know everything. That's intentional. You isolate information so no one person can compromise the whole system, including you. You trust almost no one. You rely on systems more than people. Money becomes abstract. Numbers on screens, accounts across countries, investments in things you don't personally manage. You're powerful, but you're also trapped. You can't walk into a restaurant without planning exits. You can't travel freely. You can't relax in public. You start wondering what freedom actually means. Then you stop, because that kind of thinking is dangerous. You remind yourself why you're here. Control, legacy, survival, even if it doesn't feel like survival anymore. Level 8. The Ghost Architect. There's no announcement, no ceremony. You just stop being visible. Others take the spotlight. New names rise. New faces get attention. You let them, because you're no longer the face. You're the structure behind it. You design systems that run without you, chains that don't break when one link fails, networks that adapt faster than anyone can track. You rarely give direct orders. You influence outcomes, quietly, indirectly. A conversation here, a shift there, a decision that seems small but changes everything. You exist above the hierarchy now, not outside it, above it. People aren't sure if you're still active. Some think you're gone. Others think you're everywhere. Both are useful. You live in controlled isolation, secure locations, limited movement, trusted routines. You have everything you aimed for: power, money, influence, and almost nothing else. No real friends, no normal life, no off switch. You spend more time thinking than acting, reviewing decisions, outcomes, patterns. You see the system clearly now. It was never about individuals. It was always about continuity, replaceable parts, endless cycles. You were one of them. You still are, just at a different level. The only difference is perspective and the weight that comes with it. You don't regret, but you understand. That's worse. Somewhere, a car is idling on a quiet street. A package sits on the passenger seat. A phone buzzes once. Go. He grips the steering wheel,
thinking it's just a job. He thinks he understands the risk. He doesn't, but he will.